Subscribe to Adam's Answers!
Hey everybody. So I've been glued to the news lately, learning about the children near the borders of our country who were taken away from their parents. Now it's extra tricky because we're not getting the whole story. Just little pieces are trickling through the national game of telephone that's happening right now. The thing that we do know is that for a period of time, these families were being separated. And I found myself wondering, what must those families be going through? Have you ever been in a store or something and been separated from your family and thought that you were lost? It's like the worst feeling ever. And parents know that horrible moment when you're at Disneyland or the grocery store and you don't know where your child is. No matter how old you are, when you're apart from your loved ones, it's a terrible feeling. Luckily, the leaders of our country realized that this was not okay and stopped separating new families. But the families that were already separated, again, just based on what we know, there still doesn't seem to be much of a plan in place for putting these families back together. I don't feel angry very often, so when I do, I'm not always sure what to do with these feelings. But I do know that if I can use my anger for good, then that's the best choice that I can make. I know that change happens when people are using their anger well. When people say, "That's not fair," and jump into action. As I thought about all of this, I was remembering when I was in first grade. My family adopted my sister, Jenna. She was born in Korea and lived in an orphanage before she joined our family. We saw pictures of her like months before she could even come to America to be with us. And even though she didn't know who we were yet, we'd already started loving her. I found myself being like instantly impatient for her to come and live in the bedroom like just across the hall from mine. And I remember feeling like worried about her safety in the orphanage. I worried about her feelings and prayed that she was being treated well. Now, obviously my situation was incredibly different from what's happening today at our borders. But as I just even try to understand what it must be like, I'm using my own experiences as the only frame of reference I have to do the best I can to understand. I remember the joyful moment of finally seeing my sister get off that airplane and join our family. And I know that families being together is worth fighting for. Now, since we obviously can't all just show up and get involved, I really wanted to figure out, what can we do? Sure, start with prayer, sending light, sending good vibes, all of that. But there's more. There are marches these days that are scheduled in towns all around the country. So check to see if there's one coming up soon in your area. If not, maybe start one of your own. You can also call your congressperson and let them know how you feel. It's their job to represent you in our government. And finally, if you want to use some of your money to support the experts who are trying their best to love these kids and families well, here are a couple of websites that we think are terrific, where you could offer some support. These are the charities that I ultimately decided to support myself. As the expression goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, now is the time that we need to be the village to support those families in need. For more Adam's Answers episodes, you can click right here. And please don't forget to subscribe. That happens down here. Laugh a little, think a lot, love better.